Hi, my name is Beer, and let's start with No Man's Sky. The game was released 7 years ago and it flopped like no game has ever flopped before. Despite that, developers scooped their shattered dignity and textures together and molded it into a great game. No Man's Sky is a live project. Updates are constant, the game is getting better and better every year. And by constant updates, I'm not kidding. In June alone there were 7 updates so far. They are serious about this game and that's why the price never goes below 50%. You know, they have to pay salaries to all the people updating the game, so they could buy delicious ingredients for the best potato salad. The game itself is an open-world galaxy sim where you craft and build stuff in order to survive. It's one of the best games of the genre, so if you are up for the adventure, don't overthink it. Subnautica. When I first tried to play Subnautica, I had some mixed feelings. I don't really like to craft things in games. Well, I do, but only when it's not the main way to obtain things in general. And all that coral and fish gathering was really boring for me. I wanted to explore, and the game prevented me from doing that because I had no means of diving into the depths, and if I tried, I always died. So for me it took about 2 actual years to get all the equipment I needed for exploring. I can only imagine that some kid can do that in a day or so, but that's not the way for me. I got bored really quickly every time I turned the game on. But that boredom was eradicated one day when I found some really interesting things deep below that, you know, I couldn't reach. So I finally understood why this game was so hard to play for me. It gave me no motivation to proceed. And then when I finally found one, Subnautica transformed into a beautiful world. So addicting that in a week I spent more time here than in the past 2 years. And I continued to do that for weeks to come. So for all the new players, just carry on with that boring part and you will be rewarded. I can without a doubt say that this game is 10 coldest beers out of 10. You have all my recommendations. Although keep in mind that even if it looks so colorful and pretty, it has a lot of horror elements and is not meant for kids. Days Gone. This is an open-world action-adventure game set in a harsh wilderness 2 years after a devastating global pandemic, which made a lot of zombies out of unlucky humans. Here you will take control of a bounty hunter trying to find a reason to live in a land surrounded by death. You will scavenge through abandoned settlements for equipment to craft valuable items and weapons, or take your chances with other survivors. Days Gone has very positive reviews on Steam, so if you like zombies, give it a try. Cyberpunk 2077. A lot of people, including me, can't forget how bad the release of this game was, but developers worked hard and from 5 warm milks out of 10, the game's score has increased to 8 cold beers out of 10, meaning that this is a nice game and the price of €30 or comparable amount of dollars is actually a great deal. People love the game now, and if you have spare money and are thinking about what to play, Cyberpunk 2077 may be your choice. I'm not saying that the game is perfect, but a few major updates and fixes are slowly turning it into a game that it was supposed to be. You can already change your haircut and the police are teleporting a bit further away. It still literally feels like they teleport though, and that sucks. Recently, developers said that a complete overhaul of the cop system as well as a vehicle-to-vehicle combat is in the works. When it will be updated, nobody knows, but that is a great news no matter how you look at it. Aliens Fireteam Elite. Have you ever wanted to be a protagonist in the Alien movie? Well, I doubt that, I really do. And if yes, what is wrong with you? Anyway, here, after so many fear-infused hours in alien isolation, you can finally get some revenge on these terrifying creatures. You will kill hundreds of them, so it's nothing like the movies. Although it's really fun to play if you have a friend or two. You can play in single player as well, but I assure you that if you want full experience, you will have to find some friends. I know that may be mission impossible, but you can try anyway. You don't need real friends, all you need is some Discord channel with the same-minded people. So here you'll be exploring some friendly planet filled with friendly fauna and live in harmony all together. Except you don't. This game is a carnage where you will have to battle through hordes of different types of xenomorph, customize your character and gear, and level up as you try to contain this ever-growing threat. I especially like the diversity of enemies in this game. They really took their time to create some nasty monsters. The game itself is basically Left 4 Dead just with aliens. I think it's great, and 81% of Steam reviews are also positive. Maneater. Have you ever wanted to become a shark? To swim in the endless ocean until you get eaten by a bigger shark or a killer whale? Well, honestly, being a shark kinda sucks. I wish I was a jellyfish instead. No brain, no worries, no anxiety, only never-ending fun. Yeah, I'm sure jellyfishes feel like that every day. Anyway, Maneater will let you experience the ultimate power fantasy as the apex predator of the seas. Become a giant shark and eat someone. By the way, Maneater is a single-player open-world action RPG. Yeah, you heard right, it's an RPG game. I can only guess that you weren't expecting that. You will start as a small shark pup tasked with surviving the harsh world while eating your way up the ecosystem. To do this, you will explore a large and varied open world, encounter diverse enemies and prey, both human and wildlife. Find the right resources and you can grow and evolve far beyond what nature intended. It's a game after all. This is fortunate because you can get revenge on all those filthy fishermen. Dreamscaper. This is a beautiful action roguelite game. At first the gameplay is very easy. At least it was when I played the game. I felt no bigger challenge and all the creatures died from my mighty swings without any problems. I was like, hey, I'm really good at this game. The challenge began when I finally met the first boss. And the fight was great, like 10 out of 10 great. And also it was the strongest aspect of this game. But I was kinda surprised that the more I played, the more Souls-like the game got. Easy peasy beginning was a trap. Actually, Dreamscaper is very unforgiving and difficult. I wouldn't mind, but most of the weapons here are slow. You know, like your sister. I felt like I was swinging them through the water or something, and you have to make perfectly timed attacks for critical hits. That is a hard thing to do with slowpoke weapons, but if this isn't a problem for you, then it may be the game for you. It has great art design, visuals, puzzles, and the gameplay is really fun. Darksiders Genesis. This is a great game with great humor and very positive reviews on Steam. It is well balanced to play in co-op mode, but also fun in single player as well without any regrets. You, like me, probably have no friends anyway. Although I must warn you that here you'll do more shooting than bashing and slashing, but you will get a fair share of the latter as well. Gamers on Steam are praising the aesthetics, interesting story and fun gameplay, but are grumpy about controls and few almost unsolvable puzzles. Game has great graphics, a bit childish dialogues, terrible camera angles, and no potato salad man class, which is a shame. Anyway, from me it gets 8 cold beers out of 10. Mad Max. This is without a doubt one of the best open-world games on Steam. More than 90% of positive reviews are here for a reason. You will play as a lone warrior in a savage post-apocalyptic world where cars are the most important thing, the very key to survival. So in Mad Max you will have the same mindset as my neighbor Ginteres, who fixes his car every day, polishes the paint and spends more time with it than with his own wife. But the balance in nature is always around the corner. My other neighbor Darius has no car, so he spends time with Ginteres' wife. Everyone is happy. Anyway, in Mad Max you will find an action-packed open world where you must fight against vicious gangs of bandits to stay alive in the wasteland. You want nothing more than to leave the madness behind and find solace in the mythical Plains of Silence. Along the way in your search, you are challenged with treacherous missions as you scavenge the dangerous landscape for supplies to build the ultimate combat vehicle of your dreams. Vampyr. As I always say about this game, at the beginning here you will suck a lot. Not blood, you just suck in general because you are a recently transformed vampire newbie. And you know the fate of such newborn vampires in all the movies. They easily die by the hand of every protagonist. So with time you will become more and more powerful as you have to survive and fight vampire hunters, undead and other supernatural creatures. Use your powers to manipulate and delve into the lives of those around you to decide who will be your next victim. You will like this game if you are into darker settings and like difficult moral choices because your food here has different personalities. You may want to kill only bad criminals and not an innocent father of 2 sick kids. And sometimes you just need to feed and kill him anyway. You may think that,
hey, it's just a game, it doesn't matter.
But it's the same as with the dying pandas in Zoo Planet. They are not real, but the game still makes you feel like shit. So be sure that you like that kind of stuff. The Forgotten City. This game, as a lot of gamers point out, is a Groundhog Day in an ancient city. The mechanic here is simple. Everyone around you is dying for unknown reasons and you have to stop it. If you fail, and you will fail more than once, you can just go to the portal and restart the day over and over again until you solve the problem of dying so nobody dies anymore. If you think about it, this is a roguelite game, just story-based instead of combat. And it's really one of the best adventure games there is. I'm not gonna lie, if you go to Steam you will see the overwhelmingly positive positive review score. Also, fun fact, this game started as a Skyrim mod a long time ago, and it was so well received it became a separate kick-ass game. Sea of Thieves 2023 edition. Are you ready to become most notorious pirate in the world, take hostages and pillage ships for incredible wealth? That is great. If so, you can also try this game and treat it like a pirate simulator for your upcoming life of crime. So here you will explore a vast world filled with unspoiled islands and underwater kingdoms, take on adventures to hunt for lost loot, forge a reputation with the trading companies and battle various foes, from phantoms and ocean crawlers to megalodons and the mighty kraken itself. And you know, after you kill the beast, keep in mind that krakens are very tasty with hot potatoes and lemon. Also here, obviously, you can try your hand at fishing, make maps to your own buried treasure, or choose from hundreds of other optional goals and side quests. And the game itself is not a short one. The estimated time to complete all 60 Sea of Thieves achievements is about 1000 hours. Make sure you have a lot of free time before buying. Also, this edition, besides a base copy of Sea of Thieves itself, includes all permanent content added since launch, plus 10,000 gold bonus and many other things. Yonder, the Cloudcatcher Chronicles. This title can be real entertaining for those who like farming and crafting games like Stardew Valley, My Time at Porsche and similar ones. Although it's not on the same level of quality, it's way shorter and smaller than those aforementioned, but it's really cute and interesting. If you have a hunger for games like that, it may be a good choice. Yonder is a relaxing open-world adventure set in a natural island paradise with 8 distinct environments ranging from tropical beaches to snow-capped summits. But this land is not as perfect as it seems. The mysterious Murg has taken hold of a land, so your task is to
Remove it.
Outward Definitive Edition. This is an open-world survival game with Souls-like combat mechanics. In this edition you will find both DLCs, new weapons, dungeons and also several life quality improvements. The game has only a mostly positive review score on Steam, but it doesn't do the justice. Most people who are giving a dislike spend 40 to 60 hours in game, and that honestly looks like some kind of masochism. If you don't like the game, just don't play it. Like Warren Buffett once said, always take the easy road and you will get there first. Anyway, Outward is like Skyrim and Dark Souls had a weird hybrid baby, and instead of abortion, this time they decided to keep it. If you like both games, why not? Outward has some problems, but in general, it is a nice game. Hogwarts Legacy. I had a lot of fun playing this game, although I bought it with the idea of playing it a bit, making a review to my channel and forgetting about it. Well, turns have tabled while I played it. It was so much fun to explore the land and meet various characters, I refused to convert it into a job. So I just played the game for my own pleasure and completely skipped it on my channel. So far, it's the best game I tried this year. Well, Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield is on the horizon, so Hogwarts Legacy will probably be decrowned sooner or later. Or not, I don't know, I only hope. All in all, Hogwarts Legacy was one of the few games that actually survived the hype train and never crashed anywhere. The game has above 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and I would give the game 10 cold beers out of 10 without much thinking. The world is very detailed, quests are handcrafted and fun, magic truly feels like magic, and the world is really open, although the map is shaped like a bow, very narrow and long. But that's maybe a thing of a lore. I don't know, I have never read the books, only seen the movies. Only thing that actually spoiled the game a bit was how soon I got the ability to fly. That absolutely crashed the exploration on foot part. Flying in Hogwarts is awesome, but I would have given this ability way later in the game. The variety of enemies also could be wider, but hey, it's a great game, you have all my recommendations. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This is probably the best fantasy open-world RPG ever created, and I doubt that I could find anyone who at least never heard of it. Well, at least inside the Western-influenced hemisphere, it's a true legend. On Steam it has more than 600,000 reviews, and 96% of these people recommend this game for you. And I don't know who are the 4% who didn't like the game. I scrolled for like 5 minutes through hundreds of reviews and failed to find any explaining why. And my friendship with Witcher Geralt started way before any of the games were released. I read the book when I was a teenager, and after many years I even got Andrzej Sapkowski to sign it for me when he was visiting Lithuania for some book fair or something. And we also spoke for like 20 seconds as well. Never washed my mouth in years after that. Anyway, the game has an incredible story, super fun gameplay and a huge dark fantasy open world to explore. The coolest thing is, of course, your profession. You kill monsters for money, so you can just travel around the map and fulfill contracts ignoring the main story as long as you want or as long as you you can get a new contract. And every single monster hunt is a handcrafted mission with different outcomes and sometimes hard moral choices. The Witcher is probably the best game I have ever played. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. This game reminds me of Witcher, but for a younger or, less brutal audience, because it has somewhat similar battle mechanics, open world full of monsters, many dialogues, third-person view and so on. But here you will not find any gore, twisted creepy quests, splattering blood fountains or any nudity. Redhead will never show what she's hiding, here you will get no love affairs, no hot scenes by the waterfall, just robot dinosaurs and indigenous people. I played about 30 hours of this game a few years ago on my PlayStation. I had a great time, but I never finished it because I encountered a difficulty spike and I couldn't play anymore without loading a save game that was an hour ago. And I had no intention to do that. So be careful of the places named the Cauldron. Make sure your character level is appropriate before entering inside. Alien Isolation. Here you are all alone in a giant space station and a xenomorph is hunting you. You have no guns, you are the prey, but despite the fact that you are a woman, your balls are way bigger than some men have, definitely bigger than mine. So you are being hunted by a creature of nightmares, smart, stealthy and built to kill. Sometimes it can take an hour without an encounter, sometimes you can feel it creeping upon you in the vents, sometimes you can hear it, and sometimes you just die because a xenomorph is not some usual monster. It's terrifying. Really terrifying. The feeling when you see him launching at you from a distance will put your heart into your heels. It looks and moves in a way which somehow invokes the primal fear in your brain. To play this game you will have to have huge and hairy mental balls, because with time you may get used to the alien, you may get used to hiding and even to jump scares, but when the game guides you to the alien nest, and it's the only way to go, you will only wish that you had not 2 balls, but at least 4, or more likely 7. Yeah, 7 is good number. Disco Elysium. This is one of the greatest role-playing experiences you will ever have, but play it only if you like reading a lot and like games without combat. You will not find any here. Well, I mean combat that is not a result of your dialogue choices. Your character will do things automatically based on the decisions you make, and those decisions of yours are not always very smart, and Disco Elysium just lets you do stupid things, which is kinda scary because suddenly you may realize that you just wanted to test the waters, but instead you actually made the decision that will have grim consequences. And by grim, I mean really grim. On some of those occasions, the game just ends. You may see game over screen without even playing an hour. And the game is like,
I told you, but you pushed me hard, so the consequences are yours to swallow.
Yeah, actually Disco Elysium has 3 different endings and 12 unique game overs. Those I talked about before. So always, and I mean always, think twice before doing something stupid. And then think twice while playing Disco Elysium as well. Because no matter how stupid the decision you want to make is, the game may let you do it. Elden Ring. Open world where you will be doing a lot of slashing, bashing and rolling around. Game is Souls-like, if I can say that about almost a sequel to the actual Dark Souls, and themed around dark fantasy. It has the ability for you to create your own custom characters instead of playing a fixed protagonist. So you can create a character that you may want to immersively merge in with, or a character that you wish to be, or to bang. Honestly, I don't like Dark Souls because I suck as a gamer, but I bought the Elden Ring and I played for hours and hours. I died a lot, and the amount of deaths finally filled my cup of patience and I abandoned it. Now I'm really thinking that I must go back and show all these creepy creatures who the real boss is. Probably not me. And now, thank you for watching. If you want more Steam sale videos, check out my main channel named Cold Beer. There you will find plenty of those. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.